The contents of this podcast is for informational purposes only and should not be considered as medical advice. If you have a specific health concern or condition, please consult a qualified healthcare professional. For more details, check out herguru.uk/disclaimers. Hey, fabulous listener. Welcome to another episode of ABGW Podcast. Amazing, brilliant, gorgeous, wonderful, where I mix a dash of my humour with a whole lot of heart to help you transform your mind, reclaim your peace, and thrive in this wonderfully chaotic world of ours. I'm Cheryl, your resident mental trauma coach and hypnotherapist. And today we're diving into something many of you know all too well, pesky OCD symptoms that seem to run the show. But guess what? They don't have to. You can give them their walking orders. So if you've ever wanted to hit pause on that mental hamster wheel and finally take control, you're in the right place, because I've got some practical tips, inspirational stories, and maybe even a few laughs. So let's go. Amazing, brilliant, gorgeous, wonderful, helping women just like you who are unhappy, perhaps even with your supposed quote unquote good life. This is a mum and daughter duo, and we're not pulling any punches as we explore trauma recovery and ideas for building resilience, so that you're working smarter and definitely not harder to create a transformational life, a life you love more often than not. Understanding OCD. All right, let's start with a little mind journey. Imagine feeling like your brain is a broken record, replaying the same thoughts over and over and over again. You might even find yourself flicking a light switch, like you're trying to signal to a distant ship at sea, ahoy there, or maybe your home has turned into a maze of must-have items. These, my friends, are uninvited guests at your mental party, obsessions and compulsions that just refuse to leave. Now, can you imagine a life where you spend less time worrying and more time enjoying your favorite hobbies? Well, the thing is, hypnotherapy can help get you there. To paint a picture, I like to think of the film As Good as It Gets. You know, the one with Jack Nicholson? And he plays, is it Melvin? Melvin is a successful author who can't step on cracks in the sidewalk, as they call it in the US, and has this really elaborate routine for locking his door. I mean, it's totally brilliant and slightly hilarious the way they depict it. How OCD can just be so dominant in someone's life. Now, I'm not here to make fun of anything. I'm not here to make fear of Melvin or anyone else. The thing with me, I always think there's light and there's dark. And when it comes to trauma recovery, any kind of trauma recovery, even with things like OCD, I like to try and be on the lighter side. Because look, the world out there is stressful enough. I don't need to add any more. So with that in mind, let's look at the impact of bereavement on OCD. Now, let's talk about something a little bit heavier. I'd like you to think about the overwhelming sense of loss when something significant in your life changes. I'm thinking of an example of like maybe a relationship's ended, or you've lost your job, or a loved one has passed away. I'm just thinking that kind of bereavement can sometimes trigger or worsen OCD symptoms, because suddenly you might feel the need to hold on to every little thing, fill every little space with items that kind of bring a fleeting sense of comfort. Does that sound familiar? Remember the movie Up, where Kyle's clinging to his house and all his possessions after losing his wife, Ellie? And while Carl's attachment isn't exactly OCD, To me, it beautifully illustrates how loss can drive us to hold on to things in a way, you know, it's like holding on to memories and the past. But the thing is, here's the good news. If you give hypnotherapy a try, then you might just find a calmer, happier, joyful you. And remember, it's all about being ready to embrace the present while honoring the past, because that is super important and not to be sniffed at. Hypnotherapy for OCD. So, all right, let's dive into the good stuff now. How hypnotherapy can be such a game changer for managing OCD. So, picture yourself in a state of deep relaxation. Your mind is open and receptive. You may be doing a favorite yoga class, or you might be stretched out on the bed. But the thing is, your mind is stretching itself. And the thing is, you're in a peaceful state. Hypnotherapy kind of works magic, I suppose, helping you to break that cycle of obsessive thought and then compulsive behavior. And through targeted suggestions, hypnotherapy can start naturally and easily guiding you to developing healthier thought processes, patterns, and then responses. What happens when you imagine replacing those anxiety-fueled thoughts with calming, positive affirmations? Because the thing is, the more you relax, the more peace you feel. And hypnotherapy can show you how, and at least how to get more. So let's chat about Sarah. She's a marketing executive and mother of two. Sarah's perfectionism has led her to an exhausting cycle of triple checking emails and sleepless nights. Sound familiar? And the thing is, after starting hypnotherapy, she learnt effective techniques for OCD management, reclaiming her evenings and actually enjoying time with her family. Now, what I would say, to be honest, is almost like hypnotherapy is almost like a sliding scale. So say your OCD is from 0 to 10, where 10 is the OCD. What hypnotherapy does, it helps you dial it down, because it's not about necessarily getting rid of a behavior. I tell you why. Every behavior has a positive intention. It has a purpose. So it's not about getting rid of a particular behavior. What it's more about is putting that behavior in its proper context. So, for example, you leave a room, you don't need the light on, you turn the light off. It's not about stopping that behavior. It's just about sort of dropping in to those obsessive responses so that you can then change your behavior. So can you imagine Sarah now waking up each day, feeling calm and more in control, ready to tackle whatever comes your way? And that's possible with a little bit of hypnotherapy magic. See, the whole idea makes me think of the film, one of my favorites, Peaceful Warrior, where Dan learns to change his mental patterns and find peace through unconventional methods like hypnotherapy. Seriously, if you haven't seen it, put it on your watch list. Peaceful Warrior. This episode of ABGW is brought to you by Her Guru Hypnotherapy and Coaching. Her Guru provides mental fitness coaching and hypnotherapy services. You can find out more details by visiting herguru.co.uk. Insights and practical tips. Now, I'm super excited because today I was talking to one of my colleagues about anxiety. And it was really interesting because as we were sitting having a coffee, they shared some insights into how hypnotherapy can help manage OCD. And between us, we came up with some practical tips that you can start using today. So the thing is, hypnotherapy works, if you don't know, by guiding individuals into a deeply relaxed state where their unconscious mind is more receptive to constructive and positive suggestions. Now, the thing is, you do that anyway, but the thing is, what we do as hypnotherapists, clinical hypnotherapists, is that we guide you so that you're always heading in the right direction. If that makes any sense. And that when we help you open up your conscious mind to new discoveries and possibilities, that can help break the cycle of obsessive thoughts and those compulsive behaviors. And the thing is, sooner or later, you'll discover that managing OCD is a game changer. And hypnotherapy is just one of the most practical ways that you can do it at home in a way that is structured, that will help you practice relaxation techniques, set boundaries, and have positive affirmations, helping you combat those negative thoughts. So here are my 3 tips. Practical relaxation techniques. So start your day with a very simple breathing exercise. I want you to close your eyes, inhale deeply through your nose, hold it for 3 whole seconds, and then exhale for 4 seconds. And the thing is, the more you practice this mindfulness technique, the less stressed you'll feel. And that is a beautiful hypnotherapy technique that you can try and practice every day. Now, what I would say is that at least do it for at least 30 days in a row and then evaluate whether it's working or not. Give yourself time and your mind to start generalizing what's happening. Another tip number 2 is set boundaries. Now, this may sound counterintuitive, but I want you to create a worry time, a specific time of the day dedicated to addressing your obsessive thoughts. Now, I have to admit, when I have suggested this to people before, they look at me as if to say, that sounds crazy. But the thing is, it helps you to contain them, because if you know that you're going to make an appointment with yourself every day at, at say 12 noon, you're going to sit down for 15 minutes and you're going to dedicate those 15 minutes to addressing those obsessive thoughts. What that does is your mind helps to generalize that so that they don't spill out into other aspects of your life. Because remember, the more you focus on your solutions, the less you worry about your problems. The other thing, tip number 3, is using positive affirmations. Now, I love positive affirmations. Now, positive affirmations are just there to combat those negative thoughts that all of us have. So, for example, you could say to yourself, I am in control of my thoughts. I am calm and at peace. And if you believe in yourself, then you can amplify that belief. And that's one of the things we do with hypnotherapy. We amplify all of those things, those practical relaxation techniques, those setting of boundaries, and those positive affirmations. You know, Mark Twain said, the secret of getting ahead is getting started. So why not start with hypnotherapy? Because the more you practice positivity and discovery, the more it becomes a habit. And who doesn't want more good habits? You know, I could talk about hypnotherapy all day long and bore you to death, but I won't. The thing is, hypnotherapy kind of reminds me of when we're like little children, 1.5 years old, and we want something and our mind doesn't know that we can't have it. If anything, we focus on it and then we go for it. And hypnotherapy is kind of teaching us to get back to that state where we go for what we really, really want. Anyway, let's talk about thought stopping and unusual triggers. All right, so thought stopping is a technique that's kind of like your mental fire extinguisher. That's how I describe it. You kind of train yourself to spot those disruptive thoughts as they start, and you stuff them out before they turn into this full-blown inferno. Now, picture yourself as a mental firefighter, keeping your mind safe from all those flare-ups. And here's something you might not even have thought of. Certain smells can actually trigger OCD symptoms. For some people, it's strong perfumes. I even know someone, it's the scent of bleach in the kitchen that can bring back obsessive thoughts, or the need to perform certain compulsive actions. And to me, it's amazing how our senses connect our mental health in ways that we don't even realize. In fact, if you think about it, that's how you communicate with the world, through your senses. And the idea kind of reminds me of a film that I once saw, where the scents that they were smelling had a profound impact on the protagonist's actions and mental state. Today, we've explored the signals of OCD, the impact of bereavement, and how hypnotherapy can help you manage some of those excessive thoughts and compulsive behaviors. And what I want you to go away with today is to remember that regardless of your situation, you're not alone. There are effective techniques and support systems available. And for me, let's turn that stress into action. You know, as Barack Obama says, don't moan, act. And that action into a life full of outrageous unconscious joy and fulfillment. Because for me, hypnotherapy can be your secret weapon, helping you transform your mind, reclaim some peace, and truly thrive in every aspect of your life as you so choose. Because understanding and managing your thoughts can lead you to a life you truly love. What a ride today, huh? From tackling OCD symptoms to learning how hypnotherapy can help you create a more calm and controlled mind. We've covered a lot. So remember, your thoughts don't have to run the show. You do. And just like how we've talked about it, sooner or later, you'll discover your mind can be organized just as your Pinterest board, with a little hypnotherapy magic, of course. So as you head back to this wild world out there, remember this: your resilience is a powerful force shaping your life. So may your force go with you as you continue to shine and be amazing, brilliant, gorgeous, wonderful, just like you are. Catch you next time. Bye for now.